Today marks a day of immense change and upheaval in my life. After countless hours of deliberation and support from MAP-friendly therapists, I've made the difficult decision to come out to the people closest to me about my attraction to minors. I want to be clear. I have never and would never act on these feelings in an inappropriate way. I value the safety and innocence of children above all else. I started with my best friend of 15 years, Jack. We met for lunch at our usual spot, a quiet pub on the outskirts of town. As we clinked glasses of amber ale, I took a deep breath and began. "Jack, I need to tell you something important. I'm a MAP." Silence fell between us for what felt like an eternity. Then, to my immense relief, he smiled and squeezed my shoulder. "I'm glad you trusted me with this," he said warmly. "Let's get through whatever comes next together." Emboldened by Jack's supportive reaction, I then broke the news to my sister, Lily. I invited her over for dinner at my apartment, cooking her favorite meal. As she took a bite of the butterscotch pudding I'd made, I began to speak. Lily listened intently, her brow furrowed. When I finished, she set down her spoon and stared at me for a long moment. "I don't understand," she said slowly. "But I still love you. We'll figure this out together." Tears of relief streamed down my face. Next, I met with my parents at an upscale restaurant downtown. I invited them to join me at the private back room, wanting the utmost discretion. I began to speak, my voice shaking. I told them I was a MAP, that I would never hurt anyone, and that I needed their love and support. My mother started to sob while my father's face turned crimson with anger. "How could you do this to our family?" he growled, slamming his fist on the table. I flinched but held my ground. "I'm still your son," I said, "and I need you to love me unconditionally as you always have." My father glared at me for a long, agonizing moment before shaking his head. "I can't promise anything," he said coldly, "but I'll try to understand." I knew that was the best I could hope for at that moment. As I left the restaurant, I felt a maelstrom of emotions: relief, fear, trepidation, and hope. I knew I had taken an immense risk in coming out to my loved ones. I knew I may lose some of them in the process. But I also knew that I was finally being true to myself, that I was no longer living a lie. And most importantly, I knew that I would never, ever harm a child. I am a MAP, and I am committed to being a part of the solution, not the problem. This is only the beginning of my journey. Wish me luck.